Welcome to Living United. My name is Lori Piquel Stengel, and I'm the Executive Director for the United Way of the Brown County area. And today we are going to be discussing one of our 6 in-house programs. This one today is our free tax preparation program. And this really is during tax time, obviously, comes around. It's going to be starting this year on February 11th, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's located in the New Ulm Public Library basement, and it's by appointment only. So, but let's dig into a little bit about how this whole operation works. And we're lucky today. We have some guests to talk about the program, and Mary Letcher is one of our volunteer tax preparers, and she's going to talk a little bit about the whole program.
TaxAid, as it's known, is something I didn't know because it's fairly new in New Ulm, but it's the nation's largest free volunteer-run tax preparation service, and it's in its 52nd year nationally.
Wow.
And it gets its funding from the AARP Foundation, which is not the AARP that tries to get you to buy insurance and send you this and that. It's the nonprofit wing of the AARP and the IRS. So those two organizations have joined together to offer tax preparation mainly to low and moderate income people 50 and older. But when the United Way got into the TaxAid program, they were looking for something, another in-house program in the financial mode. And the TaxAid program had been in New Ulm for at least 20 years. But mainly it was at the community center, mainly senior citizens would come. And the United Way, and I was on the board then when we talked about this, they wanted to attract more young people, more families, people that could be helped with the service. So 3 of us were on the United Way board at the time, became trained, certified tax preparers, and now we're up to 9 preparers, and we are in our 5th year, and we meet, like Lori said, Tuesdays and Thursdays from February 11th to April 14th from about 9:30. The library doesn't open until 9:30, so we start at 9:30. We have appointments that last about 45 minutes. And so that time period there will tell you a little bit about the kinds of returns we do. Fairly simple.
Because you can't do everyone's taxes, obviously.
No, we can't.
It has to be within a certain criteria.
That's right. And we call it scope. We talk about the things that are in scope and out of scope. And we're very well trained about what we can do, what we have been trained to do and are certified to do, and what we cannot.
And I really admire this group of volunteers that have been, coming back every year to do this. They are very dedicated and take their work very seriously, and they are certified through AARP and it's IRS training. So it's like if you went to any accountant, and the more I've learned about this program as I've been with the United Way here going on 2 years, is that it just is, it's really for those people that probably would get a refund, but maybe because they don't feel comfortable doing it themselves, or they can't afford to pay someone else to do it, they forego and leave that money on the table. And this really has brought a huge amount of money back into our community and put it into the pockets of the people who really need it the most.
That's true. Last year, the average adjusted gross income of the returns from the people we served was $20,000. So that tells you a little bit about who we serve. So a lot of those people made less than that, and some made more. But what we really like about the program is because we can do this free, all the money that will come back as a refund to people goes right into their pocket.
And it really is people who really need it. So, and it's coming in back to Brown County and our community.
That's right. I mean, there are other TaxAid sites, many in Minnesota, There's 5,000 in the nation alone, but Lake Crystal, Mankato, St. Peter, Waconia, there are other places. And the nice thing about this program is you can go to any of them. So, for instance, in the metro area where there are many, many sites, you could go to one year and you could move to another part of the Twin Cities and you could go there and your information would be there. So you could track it from year to year to year. So when the United Way decided to get into this another in-house program, we connected with the New Ulm Public Library. And so they offer us space to do this, and the United Way helps us with some of our costs, and this is probably a good time to introduce
Yes,
Pete.
our other guest, which we are thrilled to have here, something that the United Way has been trying to do in the last couple years is for our in-house programs, create some program partnerships with some of our local businesses. And I'm just absolutely thrilled that we have Pete Neugebauer here with P&L Neugebauer Farms, and they are our program sponsor for our free tax preparation program. So thank you so much, Pete, for joining us and for being our program partner this year, helping us out because like Mary said, we want this program to be free, but we do have costs, we do have overhead, and a lot of that is in the materials that we provide, the organization setting up all of the program needs. And so tell us a little bit, Pete, why you wanted to get involved with United Way and specifically being a program partner.
Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I think my better half is on the board.
Yes,
so,
Linda is a wonderful board member, I have to say.
But we've lived in the community or right outside the community for 41 years. And you get to know a little bit about sometimes issues and things in the community. And I think it's just important that there's a segment of the population that I think having this conversation with somebody, making it a little bit easier, and taxes have become more complicated.
Yes.
I have quite a bit of knowledge about that whole thing, and maybe a little bit more complicated than the average return would be. But it's important. It's a function that we need to do. And as was stated earlier, many people, if you don't apply or fill out a return, you don't get a refund.
Yeah.
And so I know even with my mother-in-law, she needed to do that in order to get a little bit of a refund. So, we all have a responsibility, and I just think it's important, and I think it's a way that we can kind of give a little bit to the community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very, very much. Tell us a little bit about the farm out there in Cortland.
So, which story do you want to have?
Oh, the best one.
So I say we have a hobby farm, and
Yes.
really it started with, I taught here in New Ulm for 10 years, and I'm still a teacher, and actually I teach at a community college in agribusiness. But we have a hog farm where we raise our custom farrow pigs, and we also produce corn, soybeans, and a little bit of hay. And we have been blessed over the years in terms of being successful, and our hobby has grown into a little bit more than a hobby.
The hobby farm always
Yes.
seems to multiply. I've known quite a few people who started out with a hobby farm.
Yeah, well, and it is something that we do, and up until a year ago, my wife was working here in town in a banking industry, and so, like I said, we've been blessed, and we've had an opportunity to grow, and we don't have any children at home, and I just think there are certain kinds of community things that we can help with, and this is one in terms of United Way that is fitting in terms of our ideals and mission.
That's awesome, and we so appreciate your leadership. And these program partnerships, they're brand new. You always, I like to dream things up, but that doesn't mean they're going to happen or that other people will respond to them. And we've had 4 businesses that have stepped up to the plate and taken on program partnerships and really making sure that these in-house programs that are so vital for Brown County to make sure that everyone has a great place to work and live and that no one gets, falls through the cracks and gets left behind. And so we really appreciate your leadership and taking a chance on United Way program partnerships.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so bringing it back around, if you feel like this is something that would help you out, go ahead and give our coordinator a call at 507-276-3186. And again, it starts February 11th, and we'll be booking appointments. It's only by appointment, so you want to make sure and call. Don't just come to the library. Tuesdays and Thursdays, February and March and April. And then April 16th and 21st are reserved specifically for property tax only. Is that correct?
And this was interesting. I was just doing a little bit of research and went on the National Tax Aid website. And we've always talked about we do your federal and your state and your property tax, whether you're a homeowner or whether you're a renter. And I just thought, well, that's how it should be. But really, Minnesota is only one of 3 states where you can do all 3 of those. And we were a pilot program. And so this coming year, they're going to add 10, 15 more and on down the line. So, one of the things about going online and doing your taxes is sometimes the federal is free, and then you get to the state, and that'll be $40,
Yes.
and the property tax isn't available to you. So in this program, Pete was talking about how some people, they need the incentive just to do the return. They maybe don't owe anything. We have lots of people that come in, mostly senior citizens. They don't have any need to file because their income is low, but we tell them we want them to keep their Social Security number in circulation so it doesn't get stolen, but we do their state and their federal, their state, and then we do their property tax, and then they get their rent rebate or their property tax rebate. So they have no incentive to come in except that at the very end of it, we get to.
So it's worth it for
it's
that
very
property
worth it.
tax
So they wouldn't
refund,
need to, but it's worth their while, and that makes us happy.
Yeah.
We like, we're here for the business part of it, but we also really like the people, and we try not to chat too much.
Move it along.
That's right.
There's taxes to be done. No.
45, if we can do it in 45 minutes, and you bring the proper materials, your Social Security card, all your tax documents, a photo ID, and it's fairly simple and in scope for us. If we haven't been trained, we will tell you we can't do it.
Yeah.
So.
And if you are curious whether you are in scope, if you can have your taxes done and you're not sure, feel free to give them a call. Like I said, 507-276-3186. If you just have a question, maybe you're okay with doing your taxes yourself, but you might have a question about something. They also are really great. We have 9 preparers now.
And this year, the National Tax Aid Program has purchased 25,000 Chromebooks.
Oh my.
And so all these different sites all have had old things, new computers, and the coordinators were always trying to get them updated and fix the security.
So
and
now
stuff.
it's just going to go slick.
Everything is done from a national point, and so we don't have to worry about any of those little problems, and the security is enhanced. And I know that's important to a lot of people, and it's important to us.
Yeah, and that's one reason we have it a partnership with the New Ulm Public Library is because they do have a secure server that we can use, and it's really a great space to be able to do all the work in and be able to spread out here in the basement. So, so if you have questions, like I said, give us a call. Otherwise, you can call the United Way, 507-354-6512. And I just want to say thank you, Mary. Thank you,
welcome.
Pete, for coming and sharing all this great information and making sure that people have an opportunity to learn more about if they need this service free tax preparation program through the United Way. AARP, got to thank them for helping with that as well, and P&L Neugebauer Farms. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.